Presentation on recruitment for our academy. We have Captain Gene Lim with us from recruitment, and he's going to present to our media partners. At the end of his presentation, he's going to ask for questions. Let's keep those questions specific to the topic of recruitment, and then I'll come back around on that back end and open it up to general questions.
Thank you, Lieutenant Fishback, and good morning, everyone. I want to go to charlottepolicejobs.org. So with that being said, if anybody's ever considering a career in public safety, application and hiring officers who are police officers already in the state or even out of state, and they're already sworn doing the job. They have a dearth of experience, and we're really actively recruiting laterals at this time. And with this new incentive, we have our agency. One-time incentive of up to $5,000 for moving expenses, and in addition to that, if they don't take that option, option number 2 is a singular one-time payment of $3,000 for these folks. Help wanted signs. CMPD has not been immune to that. We do have challenges with the economy and a stronger job market. We had mentor and retain our next workforce. So getting into some of the tangible benefits, let's talk about pay real quick. So entry-level pay for a CMPD officer is $51,087 with a 4-year diploma or GED equivalent as well. Top pay, officers can earn up to $87,377. Now that does include, your education, but that's a pretty high number. Secondary employment jobs throughout the CMPD compared to other agencies. Some of the other benefits that the City of Charlotte provides, we have full medical and dental plans available to us as CMPD officers. We've also got an education tuition reimbursement that I've personally used in my career that, let's say you're working on your college degree, or you want to go get one, or maybe you're sitting around and you want to start that graduate program. Here, so we're also continuing to look out for officers as we move them through the organization and their career. So retirement eligibility is 30 years for CMPD in the state of North Carolina, or at age 55. And 30 years may sound like a big number to 23 years, and my career has gone by in the blink of an eye. There's just so much opportunity for movement. It flies by. And with work experience, we value that as well. So, if you're working in the private sector and you're going to look at CMPD and come in, you can retire at age 55. Both of those options give you the ability to, let's say somebody comes in out of college even, 23 years old, by 53, 52 years old, you're fully retired with a pension, and you have the ability to go out and find that second career. So it's really a good option either way you play that. But, I think that's a draw for law enforcement because, getting a retirement nowadays is very hard to find. So if all those incentives aren't enough, I want to talk about when you join the ranks of CMPD, you are joining a premier, progressive in thought, that's out there to offer. However, we do have a few helicopters if that's your interest or your specialization. So I say that all to say, with 200 vacancies, look at it this way, folks. If you're thinking about a career, and there are an enormous number of people entering the workforce right now, something greater than yourself, and really at the best agency that you can. Do things internally and externally. We've got a really good family. You're not only getting a job, you're coming into a family. One of the chief's core 4 principles is employee wellness. And one of the things we do in this agency is we look to get you here, take care of you, and get you to a retirement and a great quality of life while you're here. The people and the relationships that I've personally forged and inside these walls and in the community is what has gotten me to this point. Coming in, my personal experience is being an Asian American kid in 1999, not really knowing what I wanted to do, but CMPD accepted me with open arms. I had a tremendous career. I met a ton of great people, lifelong friendships and partnerships. Community, and with that, we can get to questions. Thank you.
Lisa, what do you have for us?
Lisa, can you hear me? All right, we'll move on to the next question.
That would help. I just unmuted myself. How many officers are now at CMPD, and are there any areas or other police departments that you're trying to recruit from?
Let me get Captain Lim back up here for you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, so the last check I have is we're just over 1,900 officers. A aggressive recruiting strategy. We're looking at all avenues, the traditional and the non-traditional. One of the things when you say than others, I know recently the state of New York, we've gotten a pretty good amount there, so we'll shift our marketing strategy to those areas to be a presence in allocated positions. So that's part of it. Attention of folks that are coming in and out of the door in recent years. So I would attribute it to that more or less, more than anything. When we talk about our recruiting, one thing I didn't get to mention off the last question, the traditional. Just today, we're at Fayetteville State University, which is a historically black college and university here in the North Carolina area. And tomorrow, there's a law enforcement hiring expo at a nearby hotel that we'll be at, and that's specific to law enforcement. So all those things that we're doing with our digital marketing campaign,
apologize, but with the vacancies that you have available now, is that contributing to any kind of lapses in coverage or services with?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely, our service level has stayed the same. You know, we basically, we do everything we need to do for the community with what we have at any given point. No, there's been no drop off there to answer your question specifically.
All right, before we break this morning, do we have any other questions out there? Miss Lisa.
The state, Asheville's, for example, is there much attention trying to, try to get folks from some departments that are lower paid?
Yeah, let me get Captain Lim back up here for you. Again, to our media partners, let's try to get those questions asked to the captain when he's up here, and then I'll open it up to general questions there at the end.
Answering your question about lateral entry officers, we attach that lateral class to those specific dates the month before, and there's always officers from North Carolina. We have a vast network of officers here, so just by region you're able to meet officers in training and conferences and things like that, and just
A call for service there in the 3700 block of South Boulevard in reference to a person being shot on the light rail train. And upon arrival, those officers did in fact find someone shot. They were able to work with medic in getting that person transported to the hospital very quickly, and that person is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries. Through further investigation, what our officers and detectives have found is that there were a number of people on the train this morning, and there were 2 people involved in this incident, and both being adult males. One of those persons had physically attacked the other, and during that attack, the person who was being attacked pulled out a firearm and fired multiple shots at the person who was beating up on him. At that point, our officers are arriving. The shooter remained on scene and has been in full cooperation with our officers and our detectives, and that investigation is continuing as we speak right now. So your other question was in reference to a social media post or a video that had been sent to you over the weekend about it was either on the roads. And yes, this is a problem that we've encountered over the last few years.
And Julius L. Chambers High Schools. Can you explain what the relationship is to those? Sorry about that. Are you able to explain what the relationship is to those high schools at this point, or was there a victim from a previous shooting at one of those high schools?
Recently, and at this time, that's still part of the investigation. That's still part of things that we are not putting out yet those shooters and the school.
Robin, we're going to squeeze you in. What do you have for us?
Thank you so much. Just wanted to clarify, do you defend the person firing since they were
Going on right now with our detectives continuing to investigate this case. Both the person who did the shooting as well as the shot person as well to make that determination. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us and have a good week.